What is up, everyone? Welcome to Dead with My Friends podcast. I am your co-host, Steve.
And I'm your co-host, Nick.
And this is episode 42, where we will be talking about the new horror movie that everyone is talking about, Zach Cregger's Weapons.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
So, Nick, Kristen and I, we finally got to see Weapons with you on the weekend that we went down to the archive in Bridgeport, Connecticut. We did that first, and then we went and saw Weapons at the Palisades. That was an awesome day. We will be talking about our hauls from the archive towards the end of the episode, but yeah, I'm happy I finally got to see this movie without any spoilers because it had been out for almost 3 weeks before I was able to see it. I know this was your second time seeing it with us.
Yes. Yep, it was. The first time I saw it was with Brendan and the guys. We had a great time. We were trying to plan that for a while. And yeah, we got to see it with you. And I will say, seeing it a second time was a treat, man. I mean, it goes without saying that I really did enjoy this movie. And I'm excited to talk about this one because, like you said, everybody's talking about it, but there's a lot to talk about with this. I feel.
Yeah. This movie has got a lot of deep meanings and themes and a peep inside Zach Cregger's mind. I mean, when he lost Trevor Moore, like a lot of this movie deals with the loss of Trevor Moore, one of his best friends, co-writer on Whitest Kids You Know.
The biggest theme in this film is grief and loss.
And addiction.
And addiction, yeah, absolutely. And Zach Cregger is, he's not secretive about this at all. He lets everybody know, what this is about. And you see these things present themselves in all the characters in this film. And it's got a stacked cast, dude. Julia Garner. She plays the teacher. Justine Gandy. And then you have Josh fucking Brolin.
The fucking man, dude. Love Josh Brolin.
Brolin as Archer, the angry father. And then you have Alden Ehrenreich, I think is his last name, but I'm pretty sure he played the young Han Solo in the Solo movie. that didn't really like pick up too much, but he was a really good
Yeah,
actor. He played
I
Paul the
didn't see
cop in
that.
this. I
Okay.
really enjoyed his character. And Austin Abrams played James, the drug addict.
Yeah, he was
And,
great. He was great. Probably
yeah,
one of my
yeah.
favorite characters. Like
He was probably one of mine too. I really like the Paul character a lot.
also,
but,
the actor that played Marcus, the principal, loved him.
Benedict Wong is his
Okay,
name.
yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
So before we go any further, we're gonna just say spoilers ahead. We're gonna talk about.
I'm sure most of
everything.
people listening have probably seen this movie already
Yeah, I
because
hope.
it's been a big deal. But if you haven't, this is your spoiler warning. Go watch the movie if you can. Maybe it'll be available to stream by the time this comes out, or maybe it'll still be in theaters by the time this drops. But
Well, I wouldn't be surprised that it would still be in theaters, man, because this movie made a lot of fucking money.
yeah.
You know, it had a budget of 38 million, and then worldwide it made 240 million worldwide. So this fucking movie is beyond a success, dude. They made their money back like 6 times over. So
Yo, and
That's
and
great.
to add to that, man, this movie was such a big deal that Jordan Peele like fired his I forgot who he fired, but to get the rights.
somebody part of
this-
his team who was probably fucking appointed to bidding on
Mhm.
the script and everything. So I did hear that.
Yeah. So for Jordan Peele to like pull something like that over like losing the bidding to this, like, you know.
This was released by Universal, was it? I think it was. I'm not sure. I'm pretty
not
sure
sure.
it was. I think it was Universal, which is one of the biggest studios ever. But the thing that I like about where things are going with movies as a whole, but mostly horror movies, is I feel like even the big studios are being less hands-on with certain filmmakers, giving them less notes and just kind of letting them do their thing, which is awesome because
As
then
it should be.
because then we get like really we really do get original films.
Yeah, and you know too, I love that the trailer kept you guessing. It didn't give you everything like most trailers do, and that's always my biggest gripe with modern trailers is they give you the whole movie. Whereas this is like, man, what the fuck is this movie gonna be about? Why is this dude running all bloody with his eyes bulging? What's up with the kids doing the Naruto run? Like, why did it all happen at like 217? Like
Lots
what?
of whys, man.
Yeah, lots of whys, and they all get answered. And
They
it's just,
do.
yeah, they do.
And then the way that they get answered is great because the story structure is like kind of like a novel, man. You know, it's a non-linear story structure. You know, we go through. The movie starts out. So the movie starts out with a voiceover of this little girl who's talking about this incident that happened in their town, where at 2:17 one morning, 17 out of 18 students in Miss Gandy's class ran out of their house and went missing and were never found. And then boom, we're in the story.
Yeah, it's now been like a month after it all happened.
And they're having a conference about everything that's going on because she's being kind of targeted and blamed for everything because it was her classroom. But the way that her character is like she's just a really nice, sympathetic, and you know, caring teacher and person, and she's hurt just as much as all these parents are. You know, those were her students, and any good teacher, I feel like they just see those kids as their own. So 17 kids going missing, and there was only one kid who didn't go missing, and his name was Alex Lilly, and they say that in the beginning. So when all of that happens, you're just kind of like, all right, this is weird. Why is one kid left? Where the fuck did all these kids go? And that's the main question, and that's what set this whole thing in motion with Zach Cregger. Is the only thing he had was the little girl's voiceover, these kids running out, and he's like, I have no idea where they went.
Yeah, and then he just started riffing, it seems like. And what I was reading while taking a few notes is like these 6 characters that we follow, which we both mentioned, is kind of like a Quentin Tarantino movie where we have all these intertwining characters and we see how they interact with each other and we get to see their point of views and how everything connects. And all of these 6 characters represent 6 different reactions to a traumatic event. And also, if you notice on the bell, there's the number 6. So these are pretty much the 6 characters that are affected by what is going on. And also the triangle. When you see weapons, the title card, there's a triangle, which also is the symbol for Alcoholics Anonymous.
Is it really?
Yes, it is, but it's turned upside down. Also, with the triangle being 3, a tri, next to the 6, 3 6 number of the beast. There's all of these little like clues and themes and representations. And we're not gonna like get too crazy on the
into the symbolism there. And stuff.
Yeah.
But what you brought up was really cool because I wondered what the bell was because this bell plays a part in the film, which we'll talk about later, exactly what we're talking about in regards to that. But yeah, man, just alcoholism is
which Zach Cregger,
really what's like rooted in this because I had to look it up because I knew that Trevor Moore had passed away and I know that they were best friends and they say that, alcohol played into, his unfortunate passing,
and he also passed around 2 a.m.
I looked that up too because 2:17 in the morning is when these children go missing. And that changes the course of every character in this film and all the people in the town's lives,
Yeah.
That's meaningful to Zach Cregger. And, not only does this go into the trauma of how he's felt with the loss of his friend, but also things that he experienced, and I've heard him talk about this, being a kid living in a house with a father who was an alcoholic. And I feel like that he hasn't said it per se, loosely kind of, how this Alex Lilly character is an extension, a representation of him.
Yeah.
Because he says that one day everything was fine, and then one day something came in and changed everything forever. And that's what happens with Alex Lilly in this. We see during his segment how he's living in this, suburban household with a loving mother and a loving father, and he's going to school. Yes, he's getting bullied, whatnot, by the kids that are, in his class. And then just one day, this thing
and Gladys shows up.
This person shows up and totally changes the trajectory of his life, his parents' life, and then everything else around it. And I think we should save Gladys for a little bit later.
Yeah, that's fine.
But when you talk about the how every character represents different aspects and stages of grief, I was like trying to think about, who was who and what it represented. There was only one person I couldn't really pinpoint per se. So I had the Justine character. I feel like she represents survivor's guilt. Archer, the dad, anger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul, denial. Alex Lilly, innocence. And then Gladys, she's like the consuming force.
Yeah.
And I couldn't pinpoint James per se. The James character is great. He was one of my favorite characters in the film.
Just maybe like more into like the addiction,
Right. Yeah. Maybe just that lost soul.
Yeah.
He really, he was the addict, so he embodied everything that an addict was. So that's how I see them as the portrayal. So, and with the non-linear structure and how everything is like chapter based, it's like the movie restarts itself every single time.
Yeah.
You see things from a different perspective, but then you also uncover new things throughout that ultimately land you to the final moments of the film. And, you know, like you said with the bell and, you know, the representation of the six or the representation of the triangle. I just feel like this movie was very well thought out once it finally came full circle for him as a writer.
Yeah.
You know?
The writing was very creative, and just, you know, a lot of detail. Like the writing, I gotta say, like, this movie is very well written. I've heard some people complain that it was like too all over the place, but it's just like, no, it all intertwines, and that's it. You got to go for the journey to see how this all connects.
Yeah,
and like most Quentin Tarantino movies,
I was up for that journey. Yeah, I mean, Pulp Fiction chapter-based, Kill Bill chapter-based,
The Hateful Eight, a lot of his movies, you know?
And and it's great. I love this kind of storytelling, and we're big fans of Quentin Tarantino, and I mean, this makes me a big fan of Zach Cregger. Not only did I really like this movie, but I was a big fan of Barbarian.
Yeah, man.
I really like that movie,
dude,
man. Like
Barbarian was a blind watch for me.
Me
where
too.
I was just like, okay, I've heard this come up, knew nothing about it, which genius. The less you know, the better. And then I went into it completely blind, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this movie took a hard left. And it also made me a fan of Bill Skarsgård, because like he had already done Pennywise, which I was like, yeah, he was fine. But, you know, just to see Bill Skarsgård just, I don't know, just be like
as
regular
a person,
character.
you know,
as a person, I was like, damn, this dude's like just really good, and I really like his character.
Dude, that movie throws you way off. That movie flips everything on its fucking head midway through the movie. I really didn't see any of that coming at all.
And the best surprise is the way like Justin Long's character gets introduced like midway through the movie.
Yeah, you know,
because anytime you see him in a horror movie, it's like, oh fuck yeah, Justin Long's in this. This is gonna be fun.
And he's in Weapons. And
he's got a small role, but
I see everybody say, they're like, finally Justin Long survives a horror movie. Because he doesn't die in this. He plays the father of one of the kids that goes missing. And him and Archer have a interaction, because Archer goes over there to their house and asks to view the footage of their daughter leaving the house, because he's going off, Josh Brolin's character, he's the one that's going off, that's trying to really figure this out, because he doesn't feel like the police are doing a good enough job. And, you know, the chief of police is like, hey, you know, we don't report to you. Like, we have our guys out there. We have our guys on this. Trust me, like, we're working it out. And even Paul tells Justine, you know, that this is getting figured out. But, you know, because there's not answers, things go quiet for a little bit. They think that they're kind of just like letting this shit go. And I don't really know. They don't really go like too into that too much. But, you know, Archer, he's the one that's like trying to figure it out. He pulls out this map at a certain time, and he's mapping out the direction that his son had went in. And then he goes to Justin Long's house and does the same thing. And it's very smart. He's like, you know, these kids could only go in one, you know, they probably all ended up at the same point. So where was it? My kid went here, your kid went there. And then he starts just like lining everything up.
Yeah.
But another thing about this film is the title, right? Weapons.
Yeah.
It's just
almost seems misleading.
Very much so. And he kind of
sounds
did that
like
with
an action
Barbarian.
movie.
Yeah. He did that with Barbarian.
Same with Barbarian. Very misleading title.
Very misleading, but misleading somewhat, but ultimately ties into the movie. So when I had heard that he was making this film, you know, there was just a lot of talk about it. And one of the biggest things was the Jordan Peele thing, like you mentioned. I was like, weapons? What the fuck could this possibly be about? And so like, how do you want to go into talking about that?
So ultimately, like, you find out like why it's called Weapons, and it's how this character. I think we got to talk about Gladys.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about Gladys, Aunt Gladys.
The weird distant relative that shows up at Alex's home, whose parents are like, she's sick, we got to move her in, help take care of her. She's got no one. And, you know, I think a lot of people have that one distant relative that you don't know much about, but sometimes makes a family function. And they're always like, oh, I remember when you were just this big. And you're just,
I had one. Her name was Aunt Sheila.
Yeah. You know, we've all had.
She was cool. But she was she remembered things that I certainly did not.
Yeah. Just, I can't say how many times it's just like, or like, I wiped your ass before when you were just this. Like, it's like,
yeah, and they just always have this
I don't
thing
remember
about
you.
them. Yeah, they just always have this weird thing about them. And Aunt Gladys certainly did too. You know, Alex, you know, so we were introduced. Hold on. When are we introduced to Aunt Gladys in this? Are we introduced? Okay, we're introduced to Gladys at the principal's chapter.
Yeah, at Marcus, the principal, because Justine is like, you need to talk to Alex's parents because she's following Alex and she's very concerned. She wants to talk to him. But Marcus, the principal's like, Justine, that's very unprofessional. You can't just keep following this kid like around. You can't bother the family. So, but she does. She trails him and she notices like Alex is acting really weird.
Yeah, because he yells at her at a point in time when she's trying to talk to him as he's going to her house, and he's like screaming at her like, don't follow me. And then Justine goes up to the house and then notices that there's fucking newspaper all over the windows. And then she goes, and we have a good scene here where she looks through, you know, this crack in the papers, you know, just a little area, and she sees two people in the shadows sitting on the couch, and we get a jump scare. And yeah, so she's like, well, you got to talk to this. You got to get in touch with this kid's family. So, you know, he's a good principal. I think that he was a great character because everybody's going against her in the beginning, going after her at this conference, and he sticks up for her, which is great. And he goes about things by the book, really, you know, like he doesn't push anything off, you know, anything that Justine asks, you know, he kind of follows up on, you know, even though he's like, so.
Great, dude. But also like Justine, while she's doing her little stakeout, the mom comes out and clips off a piece of her hair while she's sleeping. And people in the crowd were like kind of freaking out about that.
Yeah, well, you know, the way that it was shot was scary. You know, it's a wide shot of this house in the middle of the night, and the front door opens, and you're kind of just staring into this darkness for a little bit. Like, it doesn't happen initially. And then you get a woman coming out, and she's got like these scissors, and she's, you know, it's scary. And then like the music on top of it as well. And you think that she's going to end up getting killed, and she doesn't. And she, you know, takes the scissors and cuts a piece of Justine's hair off.
And you're like, oh shit, what's that about? And also, going back to Archer, he's sleeping in his son Matthew's bed, and he starts having these crazy nightmares. And one of them, that's where we kind of first see Gladys.
In his nightmare, and then we also see
he wakes up to this scary woman who kind of like, she's an older woman who's got her face painted like almost like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, kind of like a clown with like this red hair. It's just, and these short bangs and these fucking like baby looking teeth that are like.
That was a good scare when he wakes up and she's like, when he thinks he wakes up from the nightmare and she's like right there in the bed.
And then everybody's like, and then the tension's like all relieved when Josh Brolin's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Everybody loved that. You know, everybody was like, ah.
Yeah. And also he sees the house in his dream, and he sees the floating assault rifle.
Yeah, which is like very ambiguous, and everybody's
a lot of
like,
people thought it meant like in representation of school shooting, but Zach Cregger debunked that.
Yeah.
To me, it means it's a hint. It's like the weapons are here and the weapons are these kids, because that's what, going more into Gladys. I know
that's what Matt said.
Yeah. It kind of like, I know we're jumping around, but so does this movie.
It's okay.
So, but
we're not doing a play-by-play of this.
So my initial thoughts of Gladys at first were like, oh, she's a vampire, because like the windows.
You mentioned to me, you're like,
yeah, I did like the fang thing. I was like,
you're like, my question is, how is she going?
Yeah, I was like, how is she walking in the day? And then that's what I came. I was like, she's not a vampire. At first,
I saw it already, so I was like, all right, like Steven's thrown off. But I think what she is like a really good payoff. And
no, it works so well. Actually, it's just the whole like newspaper over the windows.
Oh, maybe that's what got
that's you? Why I was. That's when I turned to you and I was like, I did the thing quietly, like, oh, I think she's a vampire.
And then you do notice that certain things are happening at night, right?
Yeah, so that's why I thought, like, I was like, oh, she's, she's, and then the whole consumption, right? Which could be taken either or into the vampire, or what she really is, which is what people are accusing Justine of, because they write witch on her car. It's actually Archer, because Archer is an architect, or like, is that what?
I think he's an architect. Yeah, he has a construction business where they're building houses.
He's got access to all this shit.
And this shit's like causing him severe distress, because he ends up going to a job site and his foreman's like, dude, you fucking you ordered all the wrong shit for this person's house.
Because he's so distracted with
because he's distracted.
Yeah. But he definitely wrote witch on Justine's car.
Because he puts the paint cans in his car.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's the one that writes witch, and he's trailing her. He's trying to, follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah. So going back to Marcus, and when the actual true introduction of Gladys is, he wants to talk to Alex's parents as a wellness check. Justine is threatening to call CPS after what she saw. So Marcus is like, let me handle this. He invites, he thinks he's going to speak to Alex's parents. It ends up being Gladys. She comes in, and man, like, what an on-screen introduction of who Gladys really is. So eccentric, over the top, quirky, weird, creepy, and unsettling in a way.
I mean, visually unsettling.
Yeah.
But she's got like this bubbly kind of tone and way about her, and you don't really know what to make of her. It's just like she looks like very strange. And she her and Marcus, through their conversation, he finds out, he's like, we haven't met before, have we? And she's like, no. And he's like, all right, well, because I think I would have remembered that. And then uncovers how she says that Alex's mom's her sister, but then we hear that Gladys is Aunt Gladys. So that's got to be his mother's aunt. It's not, right?
Mother's sister? Oh, no. Like, she's like the great aunt.
She's the great aunt.
She's the mom's aunt, so she's the great aunt.
Because I think they say it's her Aunt Gladys.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yep.
So Gladys is concerned because now there's eyes that are directed to the house. People are starting to kind of like peek in. People are starting to get curious, like, so. And I think that's why she starts to kind of like come up in, the dreams in the, because it's been a couple of months since everything had happened. And then as Justine and Archer start uncovering more and more things and getting closer and closer to figuring out where the kids are, who Gladys is, everything like that. I think, that, and it even happens with James at a point too. That's when you kind of start to see her once you start getting a little too close to her,
Yeah. Especially when she shows up on a Saturday at the principal and his partner's home. Like, and we see like what she is capable of. this is like the true reveal. Okay, like this is what Gladys is. This is what we are in for. Like we see how she is the threat and what she does, and it's so cool too because like for one, let me say this: Marcus knows how to vibe. Okay, like him on a Saturday is Kristen and I when plans get canceled, or we got nothing to do. We love just sitting together, snacking, watching movies on the TV, not being interrupted by anyone. It's like, oh, plans got canceled? Fuck yes. Let's go.
Yeah,
get
dude,
the snacks, get the
it's your
movies.
Saturday.
Yeah. And
then,
like,
you know, his partner comes over with this tray with these hot dogs, with these chips, with, you know, a nice spread and watching TV. And they get a knock at the door and it's Gladys, and she comes up with this whole story about how she took the wrong bus and whatever, and she's here and she needs a ride and she needs some water. So she comes in the house and asks for a bowl of water and is like, a bowl of water? And she's like, yeah, it's a quirk, whatever. You know, I've kind of just gotten used to it and I don't really have to explain myself anymore. He gives her the thing of water and she goes over to Marcus's partner with a pair of scissors and cuts his hair, and things are kind of getting super weird now because then she ends up pulling out like this stick and it kind of looks like a vine in a way, and starts wrapping the hair around it, and then takes out a ribbon that she took from Marcus's office, you know, one of the achievement ribbons, and wraps that around it too and cuts her finger, and
she pricks it with the thorn vine.
Yeah, and then rubs blood all on it, doing a little bit of a ritual, and then she snaps it. And then Marcus fucking changes. He's now under this spell, and his focus is killing his partner. And he goes after him, and
man, what a kill.
Yeah, dude, with these people, she uses them as weapons. That's essentially what it is. What Gladys ultimately ends up doing is she's a witch. Yeah. I'm just going to go and say it now. You find out at the end of this film that Gladys is a witch, and that's all we really know about her. You find out that she's a witch because, you know, for one, you see this whole scene happen when she snaps the branch, he kills his partner, and then after that, she does the ritual over again, but with Justine's hair. And then Marcus runs out of the house, and he's just on the hunt now for Justine. And then we have this great fucking scene where we see it from 3 different perspectives at a time. We see it from Justine's perspective, we see it from Archer's perspective, and then we see it ultimately from Marcus's perspective. So Justine's at a gas station, her and Marcus are having, or rather, her and Archer are having an interaction, you know, banter back and forth. She's like, I'm the problem. I know I'm the problem. Everybody's saying I'm the fucking problem. He's like, yeah, you are the problem. It's a bit heated. And then Marcus running down a hill, and he's got like these eyes that are like bulging out.
Just like in the trailer, which we were like, what the fuck is that about?
This was the first thing that I had ever seen from this, because I don't even think I saw a trailer. I just saw that like this clip dropped. It was an official clip that dropped. It wasn't like a bootleg leak or nothing, but you know, he just goes after Justine, dude. He's like crawling under the car, crawling after her, grabbing her, running through the fucking glass. Like, dude, just an unstoppable force, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, ultimately what ends up happening is Justine drives off, Archer drives off, and Marcus is chasing after her, and then he gets hit by a car. And
he is all fucked up. The one thing I could say is like when you do see a dead body in this movie,
it's good.
So it's good. It's violent. It's gory when you see like the aftermath. Just like the way Marcus kills his partner with the repeated headbutts, pretty much bashes his partner's face in with his own head.
Yeah.
That's why he looks the way he looks. And it's very effective. People were like getting uncomfortable in the theater.
Because you're not getting like excessive gore, excessive violence. It's warranted and it's earned in this film.
Yeah.
So that makes it all the more better.
Yeah.
And Marcus gets hit by a car. He's dead. And then after that, Archer and Justine kind of like build a little bit of a bond in a sense, because they start to see that like something is very weird now.
Yeah.
So we meet Gladys, we see what she's about then and there, and then from Alex's perspective, you know, one day everything is fine, and then another day everything changes, and, you know, Zach Cregger said that that's what happened in his life with his father, and we see how everything changes one day, you know, at the house, because he ends up getting dropped off at school, and his dad never comes and picks him up, which is strange because his dad does pick up drop-offs every day, goes to the house, and then sees his mom and dad just sitting at the table, and Gladys is sitting there with them, and she sits him down and tells him, you're not going to speak of any of this when you go to school. You're not going to tell anybody that I'm here. And then just to really drive her point across, she does the ritual in front of Alex, and his parents start stabbing themselves in the face with forks.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can realistically make your parents do anything that I want. I can even make them eat each other if I wanted to. And
Which
it
the whole
scares the shit out of them.
Eating and consumption, like,
well,
Gladys,
you know what's weird? I heard
that too.
I heard a good theory on Gladys because of the whole consumption thing. So what consumption really is tuberculosis. And I mean, that was something that was from what, like, I don't even think tuberculosis exists anymore. So it's like years and years ago.
It's still,
but people have said, I heard, well, not people, but I've heard one person say, and I liked it, is that they think because of that consumption mention, that they think that Gladys is an ancient witch who bounces from host to host.
Yeah.
And,
yeah,
you know, tries to fit into society, but does it like very poorly, you know, based on, like, just look at the way she looks. You know, she's just very obvious and sticks out and isn't really flying under the radar too much.
Yeah, and what she was doing before, maybe like using like the families as a host, was now not working. That's why she needs Alex to get all his classmates. And
he just wants her to leave. You know,
yeah.
He wants things to go back to normal. And we ultimately find out what happened to these kids. But how we find out is great because of how these stories converge. So we meet the Paul character, and we meet him early on with Justine, and you find out that he's in Alcoholics Anonymous. He's struggling with sobriety, and he's just like very much on the edge. Yeah. So he cheats on his wife with Justine, and then from his perspective, we see his day-to-day as being the cop, and his father's the chief of police. Or not his father. His father-in-law is the chief of police. And there's a scene when he chases down this guy who's seemingly breaking into a building, and we find out that it's the drug addict James. And they both put themselves in horrible situations because during the pat-down, Paul asks him, do you got anything sharp in your pockets? He says no, and then he gets pricked by a heroin needle, and he fucking punches and knocks James out.
In front of the dash cam.
In front of the dash cam. And, I mean, dude, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, it's on video.
And he knows it.
He knows it.
And he immediately unplugs it, and just, you know, he's telling James, he's like, look, I
did you wrong.
You did me wrong. Let's just call it even. I'm going to let you go. Just don't let me see you around here, and I'm going to just let you go. And James is like, sure, man. Yeah, you won't see me. But sure enough, James is fucking out there snooping because we get to follow James's day-to-day along with Paul's anxieties because he's got to talk to his father-in-law about what he did. And the father-in-law, the chief of police, is like, look, as long as this kid doesn't say nothing, we can just make this all go away.
It'll get, written over, like the tape will get written over, after like a month or two. And that's fucking, imagine like having that cloud hang over you for fucking months.
Yeah.
You know, so dude, and he also breaks his sobriety when he links up with Justine.
Yeah, he gets
well.
fucked up, and then they ended up, fucking and shit. And then, like, at this time too, like, Paul's wife she's trying to start a family. They have this big birthday dinner for the father-in-law. And, even like Justine gets confronted in the liquor store that she goes to every day by Paul's wife. She said, not only did you fuck my husband, but you made him break his sobriety. And she dumps like a whole bottle of like liquor all over her. So
Justine's a drinker too.
Yeah, Justine's a drinker, fucking Paul is just like having the worst day at work, and then he sees that James is still snooping around. And he's like,
James is walking towards the police station, and dude, this makes him snap.
Yeah,
and he's trailing, and he's going after him. He unplugs the camera, everything, and then it cuts, and now we're with James, and we see what's going on with him. He's breaking into cars. He's bringing stolen shit to the pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
And as he starts snooping around a little bit more, he sees Alex's house, and he sees like there's newspapers and things, and just kind of like gives him a little bit of an indication that somebody might not have been here for a while.
Yeah.
He goes and he ends up breaking into the house, and he sees the parents sitting on the couch. We have another really good jump scare. He hears a really loud noise from upstairs, and then decides that he's going to go down in the basement. And then this is when we find out that the kids are in the basement of Alex's house. Yeah. And they're just like standing in the basement. Like
they're in a catatonic state.
They're in like this. Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, but like the parents, like he's like going up to them and shit and just like, hello.
Yeah.
As he's like stealing the shit, and he's like, they're just not moving. And that's when he books it because he's like, yo, fuck this, I'm out. And then Paul catches up to him in the woods. But before that, he sees Aunt Gladys, and she's like laughing and waving, and he thinks it's her approaching the tent. So he grabs like a handful of his fucking heroin needles, and who unzips it? It's Paul, who gets stabbed in the face because Paul's all freaking out thinking he's got like going to contract AIDS and shit. And like he's about to beat James to death, and James is like, wait, I know where these missing kids are. Like, just I'll show you. Just because there's also a reward he finds out about
at
James
the pawn shop, and that's why he goes to the police station. So he's not even going to the police station to rat out Paul. He's going because he thinks he's going to collect $50,000 reward.
Yeah.
So when Paul goes after him, I don't know where your head went. I thought that he was going to kill Paul, that he was going to kill James.
Yes,
before James was able to tell anybody about the kids.
That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. I said, "Oh man, no one's going to know about these kids."
That would have been kind of cool, but also it is cool what ends up happening because James tells him. Oh, I just want to say real quick, the whole Aunt Gladys thing when you see her in the woods, 100% inspired by that one scene in It.
Yeah,
when you see Pennywise in the distance and he's waving at him with the balloons, immediately what I had thought.
Yeah.
But Paul and James go to Alex's house, and Paul is welcomed inside, and James is stuck in the back of the car, and then it cuts to the nighttime. Again, the door opens, and then Paul, he's not Paul anymore. He's under this spell. Aunt Gladys got him. Comes out, and he pulls James into the house, and then I think it goes to like Alex's chapter, and then this is when we start to see everything change in his life, whatnot, and whatever Aunt Gladys is consuming energy from these people, whatever it is, stops working with Alex's parents, and then she tells him, Alex, maybe you can help me get something from all of your classmates, and I will leave. Bring it to me, and when everything is done, I will leave. And him being a naive kid, he goes and he does it and collects some stuff from all of his classmates, and then it goes to being about 2:17 in the morning, and he wanders downstairs and he sees Aunt Gladys conducting the ritual, and then snaps the thing, whatever. Or actually, no, she does a different ritual here where she does like this pot, blows into it, all this spit, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the ritual has begun, and then her and Alex go outside. And I really like this scene, dude. I just felt like it was a very haunting scene when her and Alex are waiting outside, and then they're like looking down, and you start seeing just like all the kids coming towards the house from different directions.
Yeah.
And it's just like the way that the music was at that point too. Like, it's just like, that was a very, very good scene to me.
Also, their whole like run, I call it the Naruto run,
right?
Because that's how all the characters in Naruto would run. But so Zach Cregger got like influence from this photo of this little girl running from napalm.
Dude, that's a
Vietnam.
very like sad photo. I
yeah.
I didn't know that I knew what that photo was. I had to look it up, but it's just it's very like.
Also,
it hurts
the
your
way
stomach.
the kids are sprung out with their arms and the head. It also looks like a triangle.
Okay.
You know, so again, that whole triangle thing, you know, it kind of comes into tuition.
Yeah, you start seeing it present itself in different ways.
Yeah.
Throughout the film.
And also the kids or anyone under Gladys's spell, not only are they like a weapon, but even Archer points this out that they're like a heat-seeking missile, the way they move.
You know what's funny about that? I heard Zach talking about this. He said that the title would kind of like go over test audiences' heads. So he said in post he had to do some additional dialogue, ADR recording of Archer saying that. And he said that it started getting more positive results with test audiences.
Gotcha.
Once he like said that, you're like, oh, okay, like these people are being used as weapons.
Yeah.
Gladys is weaponizing people who are under her spell.
The kids or anyone under her spell. Yes.
So there you go, weapons.
Yeah. So let's get to like when Justine and Archer are in Alex's house after they've, you know, kind of connected the dots together, and just like that whole big final confrontation.
Yeah, because this ending, and I heard from friends of mine who had seen the movie, they were like, yo, the last 20, 30 minutes of this film is fucking intense.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was really looking forward to what was going to happen, man. So, yeah, you started out. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so Justine, Archer show up to Alex's house. They know something's up with the house. Like, even Archer's like, he's like, yeah, I've seen this house in my dreams. Justine, you know, she did the stakeout with Alex, or stakeout on Alex. So she's like, something's up. And even I think like, I don't know if like Paul, I don't remember because I only saw it once and it's been a couple of weeks. Does Paul make a call to Justine? Or they just connect the dots, they show up, and then like Justine sees Paul?
Well, during one of the segments, Archer is showing Justine what he's looking to figure out with the map, and he sees that there's like this intersection, and Justine intersection on this map, and she's like, "That's Alex Lily's house." So So
they
both go over there, and then James brings Paul over there, and then once we have like the whole final thing when all of these stories are done being told and everything converges up until that time, Justine and them see the cop car, and you know they think that it's a little weird, but they're like, okay, like maybe it's like CPS or there was finally a call. We'll figure out what's going on. The door opens and Paul steps out and he waves for them to come in.
Yeah.
And Justine is like very weirded out. She's like, that's Paul. And Archer's like, you know him? Like, yeah, I know him. Like, I fucked him the other day. She doesn't say that, but
yeah.
That's like, they have a thing. Her and Paul have like previous history. So whatever.
Yeah.
So they feel safe going in, and the fucking house is just dark, man. Yeah. Paul is standing in a corner. James is standing in a corner. And then prior to this, Aunt Gladys goes into her room and has Alex's parents guarding the door. And she tells him, don't step over the salt. And if you look, and I know that you definitely noticed this, Paul and James have salt around them. So once Justine steps over to go talk to Paul,
It's activated.
Almost that
like
weapon is activated.
Trap. Almost like a booby trap. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. 100% like a booby trap.
Yep.
But it was like so cool. But dude, just an unstoppable force, man. Like those, they're just.
Again, they're like heat-seeking missiles.
100%. I mean, it was the perfect way that he wrote that in. Yeah. That's it, dude.
And the crowd was laughing every time Archer was beating the shit out of James, and he'd be like knocked down. Then he's like, and
throws him,
knocked out. Yeah, it's so good. It really is like really.
It's also so good too because you're watching this really, and it gets like really intense, dude. Because if you thought that what happened with the principal was intense, when you're in this closed environment, being chased around this fucking house, being grabbed, pinned up, escaping, whatever. It's like, it's crazy. And Alex steps over the salt and then his fucking parents go after him.
Yeah.
That part was really good. And he's like locked in his room and they're banging down the door and they just like have like, they're just not themselves. The comedic timing of certain things was also like really good. Like the blend of horror and, some comedic relief where it's like you're watching like this really intense stuff happening, but it's funny when you start seeing James being thrown around,
Yeah.
So
and again, it goes to Zach Cregger's background, being a comedy writer, working on Whitest Kids You Know with Trevor Moore.
Yeah, and he said that he cannot work with actors that don't have comedic timing. He's just said it's one of the things that he needs from his actors. Yeah. And it's just that's something that he requires, and he definitely got what he wanted from them, I feel. But yeah, dude, we just have like this really intense scene of Paul going after Justine, James going after Archer, Alex's parents going after him, and so ultimately what ends up happening is Justine kills Paul. He's on the verge of killing her by choking her out, and she takes his gun and shoots him a couple times in the head, and he ends up getting killed. And I don't really doesn't she ends up shooting James and killing James, right?
Yeah.
At a point, but before that ends up happening, or whatever, Archer finds his way down into the basement and he discovers all the kids.
Yep.
So he's now looking for his son through this whole, through all these kids. And then we have like a really cool shot of like him pushing through, and then a figure pops up and it's Aunt Gladys. But she's like in her witchy looking form where it's like her eyebrows are gone, her hair is like thin and whatever. And
I kind of wish she looked a bit more decrepit, because there was a scene where Alex like peeks in on her in her room after she first gets there. And like this scene made me unsettled, where she like is watching him as he's like watching her. It's like she wakes up from her sleep, and it's brought me back to Wrong Turn when they're trying to escape. And the one guy grabs like the spring on the top of the door, and it's like cutting his hand. And then he looks over and one of the mutants is staring at him. Like for some reason, like situations like that, fucking terrifying.
I mean, I guess it's like you're being watched and not knowing that you're being watched.
Yeah.
That could be something.
And then you realize you're being watched, and that's like, it's scary, dude. And that scene got me in the theaters where I was like, oh, fuck. Like, that's unsettling. But I just wish her true witch form was a bit more decrepit looking.
I know that they tried some different looks out with her, like the teeth mostly. But yeah, so Justine kills Paul. I think James is dead.
Yeah.
And then Archer is now a weapon.
Yeah.
And he's going after Justine. And I mean, you just kind of think it's going to be the end for her. And then upstairs we get a scene of Alex's parents still coming after him. And then he finds himself in Aunt Gladys's room, and he takes her wig, and she kind of fucked up by showing him how to do the ritual.
Yeah.
So he's starting to conduct the ritual, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen here? And Aunt Gladys presents herself to Justine, and you kind of have like this where Gladys thinks that she has the upper hand on everybody and everything's going according to plan, whatever. And then Alex finishes the ritual, and you hear the snap, and you hear like a little bit of a ding, a ring. And then Aunt Gladys is like, oh no. And you hear all the kids running up the fucking stairs, and I love the way that this movie ends.
Yeah. And like people were laughing because it is ridiculous because like she's trying to run from the kids. And again, they act like he's seeking missiles. So wherever she goes, the kids are going to follow.
Running through backyards, running through people's houses. The kids are jumping through fucking windows.
And that's the comedic timing
yes.
hitting again. And people were dying in the theaters. And I mean, I was too. It was really funny.
I loved it.
But chaotic and crazy and just so over the top.
Guy mowing his lawn, and you just see Gladys, and then all of a sudden you see 17 kids running behind her. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I love when they start jumping through the windows and stuff.
Yes,
too,
and hopping the fences and breaking through the fences. But yeah, they swarm Aunt Gladys.
They get her.
A fucking hive of wasps, and they rip her apart.
I thought the effects here were really good.
Yes.
When they're pulling her head apart, where they're ripping her whole body apart.
By the jaw, man.
Yeah.
Limb from limb. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It was great.
And then, once Aunt Gladys is gone...
the spell is broken.
The spell is broken, but this ending had some people kind of like divisive, I would say, because...
It's a bittersweet.
It's a cold ending, and I liked it because after Gladys is dead, all the kids are kind of like zombies at this point. Like, they're just standing in this yard, and Archer finds his son, Matthew, and, picks him up, and they're walking, and you get the voiceover from the little girl again, and she's like talking about how like nothing's ever going to be the same. Like, some of the kids after like a couple of years just started talking again. And, you just know that the lives of all of these people are changed forever. Nothing went back to normal. Initially you think that it's going to go back to normal as soon as Gladys is gone, but it doesn't. And I think that that's great. And I had a conversation about it, and the person that I was talking to said that he didn't like that. He would have liked everything to kind of go back to normal. I'm like, no, like
I'm cool with
the way that ended,
Yeah.
He's carrying them, and he's just got like this emotionless face, and that's it.
And that's Weapons.
Man. Fucking, it's just a really fun movie, man. Seeing it 2 times was awesome. Because sometimes it could feel like a chore. Going back to the
especially because
theaters.
It's like a 2 hour and 8 minute movie, So
pacing is great in it, though.
It is good.
Do you think that that's because of the chapters and things like that? That it feels like it's starting over again, and it feels kind of like fresh over and over again.
Yeah, the writing style for sure. Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I had a lot of fun.
Contributes to the pacing.
Everybody that I saw it with the first time around, all the guys, we were like looking at each other. And we were like, that was pretty fucking cool. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
And heard some people it just wasn't for them.
Yeah, so I've heard that too.
Might be for you, might not be for you. But once I had found out about Gladys being the witch, it just like it immediately brought me to Suspiria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
And then
also the consumption too, like when you think about like witch folklore, even down to Hansel and Gretel, she was trying to consume the kids. Like she's feeding off their life force,
Yeah, 100%. And they do that in Suspiria too.
Yeah.
So when I think about Aunt Gladys's history, I think about her going to the dance school in Germany. And going there with good intentions of wanting to be a dancer, but then becoming stricken with this coven of witches and shit like that, you know, and that's where I like to see Aunt Gladys. What do you think? Where's Aunt Gladys come from you? Just an ancient witch, or
an ancient witch who's whatever was working before is not working now, so she's got to find new ways to keep herself going. You know,
I like it.
She needs more consuming, and you know, the kids, they make her. Even Kristen pointed out, like, you know, witches consume the kids to stay younger.
Yeah,
you know.
So real quick, just to go back way far. I want to just tell you my theory on the rifle.
Okay.
So what I think of the rifle is I think of it as a symbol of protection. So if you think about the way that Archer is feeling, he feels like he's let his son down. He wasn't able to protect his son. And I think that the way that we feel sometimes in dreams represent themselves in ambiguous ways in dreams that don't make sense but do make sense. Like when it comes to a dream sequence, it doesn't need to make any sense. It can be weird. And I think that's
my
what
dreams make no sense, bro.
You know,
I've been pushed off a cliff tons of times, and guess what? I always end up
falling
up.
But that's probably just a way that you feel, you know, that you're constantly being beaten down and not being able to whatever. And
let me tell you, falling up is just as bad as being like, when you fall down, like, or off a cliff in those dreams, bro, I go up into the universe and it's at the same exact speed.
It sucks. It's got to be something that presents itself, you know, subconsciously. But yes, so I see it as a representation of protection and how he was not able to protect his son. And then, yeah, so that's it. But I'm ready to kind of give some final thoughts, man. So you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I think we said last episode I'm going to go first, so I don't feel like I'm piggybacking off you. But I said it time and time again throughout this episode. I loved this movie. I was pleasantly surprised with everything about it. I went into it blind. I didn't watch any trailers. I just knew the concept. I had seen that one clip, and that one clip got me wanting more. And I had fun throughout it. I loved the story structure. I love how it's nonlinear. The chapters was great. I think the acting was fucking great. I love the choice of actors. Man, I'm so excited for what Zach Cregger's got up his sleeve in his career moving forward. It was a total success, and the studios are being hands off with him now and letting him do whatever he wants. And you know, future projects I know that he's doing is Resident Evil, which I'm excited about. And
yeah, me too.
You know, people have asked him, are studios really that involved? He's like, no. He's like, the same kind of liberties that I got with Barbarian and Weapons is I'm getting here. So let that be an indication that that Resident Evil is going to be a really good fucking movie. So,
and he's a big fan of the game, so
right.
that's good to know, because I do love Resident Evil games. I don't game much.
But Resident Evil's fun. I just started playing Resident Evil 2 again just because I wanna. Because he said it's gonna be like a cross between 2, 3, and 4, a tone of 4, whatever. So, but it's living in the world. It's not going to be based off of Leon or any of those characters or anything. He's not doing that. It's going to be its own thing, living in that world, which is going to be really cool. But yeah, so that's all that I think that I have to say about it. My rating is a 9.5 out of 10.
Whoa.
I love this movie, man. I thought it was great.
This movie.
Yeah, I mean, just based off of how I was able to riff about everything that I loved about it. It's just a very well thought out movie, and I really appreciate that kind of stuff from a filmmaker, man. A guy that really loved what he was writing, and it definitely comes from a deep place within him, and he was just very good at representing that in this film with these characters. It was just very thought out, and I love that from a film.
Yeah. I think my final thoughts on this is I did kind of get Gladys, not like what she was, but like I was like, okay. I kept seeing images online of her, and I was like, and then like put together with Nicolas Cage's character from Longlegs. I was
Matching
like, okay,
the Freak.
So, yeah, Matching the Freak. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I was just like, all right, I got to stop watching the trailer. I don't want to see any more from this. I need to get to the theaters so I don't get this spoiled. So overall, I didn't really get much spoiled except for kind of like that Gladys's character was something.
That got spoiled for me too.
So I'm happy that I didn't get like what she was spoiled, and it was still left me guessing. And the writing was very creative. I dug the writing. It is a well-written film. I just wish that like Gladys's like true witch form was a bit more scarier. That's like my only complaint. But overall, I didn't love this movie, but I thought it was pretty damn good. And I am very excited to see what Zach Cregger does in future projects with Resident Evil. And yeah, it just seems like this movie has got a lot of people talking, which is dope. I mean, I think 2025 has been a very strong year for horror. I just got back from seeing the Toxic Avenger remake last week, and that was pretty solid. I had a couple of problems, but overall I was happy with that. And I'm happy with this. I'd say 8 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
Weapons
I mean, that's still pretty
solid.
high, man, for saying that you didn't necessarily love it, but
yeah, but I have to give credit. It is. I just had like. I guess if I had to really complain, it was just like I just wish Gladys's true form was a bit scarier. Maybe a few more dead bodies, but damn, when the violence hit, it hit, and I appreciate that. And I love the acting. Again, I've said it like many times now. The writing is great.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about it. Both times I walked out, I'm just like, wow, like I really admire, his writing. I thought it was great. Yeah, so nice, man. I want to say real quick, I heard him talk about how there was an alternate ending that he had planned for this, where it was gonna be Alex and Justine versus Gladys and her army, and then they were gonna create their own army of weapons, and they were gonna all come together at a point, and then also
that's interesting.
Yeah. So it was gonna be that's how it was gonna be, and his original plan for the way that it actually ended, it wasn't gonna be like as long as it was. It was just gonna be Gladys running out and the kids jumping through the windows, ripping her apart. But it definitely made for a better ending.
I think so.
It went.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But all right, man. So before we totally wrap this up, what's new in the collection?
What's new in the collection? Well, we had mentioned before that before seeing Weapons, you, Kristen, and I went to Bridgeport, Connecticut to visit the archive and splurge. It was kind of Kristen and I's wedding gift to each other. She had a bunch of records that she did not want to trade in for store credit, and we just splurged. So, do you want to show what you got first?
I'll show what I have first because I know that you fucking got a hell of a lot. You're going to show everything you got?
Yeah, I'll show everything. I got it all pulled out.
All right. So, I got a bunch of records. I'm not going to show all of them. I'm going to show all my movies because it's really not that much. So I got Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder, fucking awesome NASCAR flick. I got J.J. Abrams' Super 8. You ever see it?
No.
Amazing. You'll like it. Watchmen Director's Cut. I like me some Zack Snyder sometimes. The Prowler.
Yeah, I love The Prowler.
I
have that same release.
Curtains.
Blue Underground. Yeah, Curtains, same release, Synapse.
And I love this movie. This is a must-watch every October for me. Hellfest. Loved it. Love it.
I've seen like some clips, and I don't know, it just doesn't really.
Have you ever seen it?
No, just
try to squeeze it in and just tell me if you like it. I really like it a lot. If you have any time, try to squeeze it in.
I'll try to squeeze it in before October.
And then at the archive, like I said, man, I scored a bunch of records, a lot of scores, but some that I got that I was really excited about. Watch Me Bleed, Missing Link.
Hell yeah, they just put out a new EP.
Suspiria score by Goblin. Was that Death Waltz? Yeah, Death Waltz Records. And then these two I didn't get at the archive, but I just need to share them. First and foremost, Thank you, Kristen, for hooking me up with Deftones' White Pony.
Yeah, we had an extra one.
You had an
so it was
extra
like-
one. You guys let me peep the collection.
Which we did. We did a trade. You gave me Slipknot
Yeah.
self-titled, and we're
I'm
like,
waiting
we'll
on
have...
that big Slipknot fucking vinyl set, which should be here soon. And then I got this at Newberry Comics before we went to see the movie, and it's the new Deftones record.
Yeah, you've been on a heavy Deftones kick lately.
Private Music. Oh my God, dude. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this. I'm not kidding. I really, 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 I really love this album. So good. Everybody should be listening to it. And then real quick, 2 things that I didn't get from the archive but came in the mail. Deadly Spawn,
Yeah.
the new 4K from Synapse Films. Very excited. This is a very beautiful box set.
Very beautiful. I opened
And
mine to look at. Oh
I
my God,
forgot that I even ordered this, but we got the Feeding Frenzy Italian Sharksploitation Collection from Seven
yeah.
Films.
Hell yeah.
And it has The Shark Hunter, it has Lamberto Bava's Monster Shark, and it has A Night of the Sharks. So, I got to be dipping into this.
I want to see Monster Sharks so bad.
Me too. Last weekend I saw Jaws in the theater for the 50th anniversary, and I planned on doing a whole Sharksploitation after that, but things got taken away. So,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll get back to it maybe at some point today. So that is everything that I got. Somewhat. I'll show off scores later on in future episodes. So what about you? I know you got a massive haul.
Brother, I splurged.
I didn't see you like the whole time I was in there, and I'm not even kidding, dude. There was like a trail of dust behind you every fucking time I was like looking for you because you were just like everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Getting
I
your
came
movies.
I was a man on a mission.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. So
and mission accomplished, right?
Oh, very much so. I mean, so starting off, I got a used copy of from Tempe Video, Ozone by director J.R. Bookwalter, who did the Dead Next Door, Robot Ninja. Ozone I did not have. I had it actually in a DVD pack from VHS Fest. There's the J.R. Bookwalter signature. I have quite a few of these Tempe Blu-ray releases of J.R. Bookwalter and Scott Spiegel's Skinned Alive, who we just lost.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I know. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Fantastic filmmaker.
From Massacre Video, I got Das Kampf Brutal Duell, German splatter film. This was sealed and was, I guess, from someone's collection. And I was like, yeah, I'll pick this up. I like this movie. I got also from Massacre Video, Hard Gore. I've always wanted to check this out. Pretty XXX explicit gore. I kind of fuck with that. This right here I'm about to show was my holy grail. The Shatter Dead with the slip. The slip is out of print. So a little backstory real quick. The Shatter Dead is a shot on video zombie film that is filmed all in the city of Middletown. My dad's brother lived in Middletown pretty much my whole life. I spent a lot of my childhood in Middletown. So the fact that this is so close to home, and when I found that out, I really needed to seek this out, and I was willing to get it without the slip, but it was meant to be. I found it there with the slip.
Exactly how you wanted it.
Exactly how I wanted it. It was so meant to be. Then I got from Saturn's Core Audio and Video, Hayride Slaughter with Halloween Horrors. It's a double feature here. I will be watching Hayride Slaughter as part of my October Halloween season watch list. Then we got Corpse Mania, some Category 3 Hong Kong action. I really fuck with some Category 3 Hong Kong horror. Then we've got Deranged, The Confessions of a Necrophile with the man himself, the Chicago, South Bend
South Bend
Shovel Slayer from Home Alone, playing Ed Gein, secretly produced by Bob Clark.
Oh.
Yeah, brother. And Alan Ormsby with effects by Tom Savini.
I'm going to have to pick that up.
Yep.
November for the Black Friday.
Yes, get it. This was Kristen's pick. Frostbiter, the Wrath of Wendigo.
I want to see that now.
Dude, this is a Vinegar Syndrome movie. Or this is a trauma film, I found out.
Oh.
There's some stop motion creature effects too.
That's going to be fun.
Yes,
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch this.
I saw that Vinegar Syndrome's had that for a while.
Yeah.
But after Kristen picked it out, I started like really looking into it, and I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. It looks like fun.
Then we've got, I'm a big trauma films fan.
Yes.
Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD 4K UHD box set. This is one of Toxie's allies in later sequels. This came out in 1990, cool. So I had to pick that up right away. And then thanks to you, because I was at work and was not able to get on the pre-order, I got the Deadly Spawn 4K UHD box set from Synapse Films. Thank you, brother, for picking this up for me.
Anytime.
Fuck, dude. I love the Deadly Spawn. It's in our intro. And to own this, I have like the bare bones Blu-ray copy that came out in 2014. But to own this box set was
they went all out, man.
They really, I gotta say, Synapse has stepped their game up for sure. Beautiful packaging, nice extras. I mean, between this and the Trick or Treat box set we got, so fucking good. Then moving on from Masker Video, Black Devil Doll from Hell, a shot on video, evil ventriloquist, dummy.
He's got like dreadlocks.
It's so, yes, I love this kind of shit, man. I love this kind of shit, dude.
Yeah, that looked funny.
Flesh Eaters from Outer Space. We saw that at VHS Fest this year. I used to get a lot of these Trauma DVD double packs. That's how I found out about Night Beast.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Got that. I got Garotica from SRS Cinema. Ron Bonk, shot on video director. So that's Garotica, Gorgasm, the sequel.
Jeez, you got so much stuff.
Then
got
Gore
like 12,
Horror.
13 DVDs.
Yeah, Gore Horror. So that's, I think, the final one. And I got Polonia Brothers, Bad Magic. Polonia Brothers, they're these two twin brothers who did Splatter Farm, Feeders, a bunch of other shot on video shit. So this is also put out by SRS Cinema. And then going back into the Tempe video realm, J.R. Bookwalter's Kingdom of the Vampire, starring Matthew Jason Walsh, who scores all of his movies. This is a great around Halloween time vampire flick. Robot Ninja is canon in this.
Oh,
a kid dresses up
like on a poster or something.
No, well, a kid dresses up as Robot Ninja while trick or treating.
Cool.
Yeah. So that, and then we also got J.R. Bookwalter's The Sandman. This is a great around Halloween time watch. Takes place in a trailer park. You know I come from Baymar, so this hit home, man. This fucking dude, this movie is so underrated. You know how you said you've been thinking about Weapons since you saw it?
Yeah.
Well, since Kristen and I watched this, and the dudes at Bad Taste Video love this fucking movie, and they did a great episode on it, so check that out if you can. This fucking movie I've been thinking about since watching.
How long ago did you watch it?
Literally the day after we got back from the archive. I said, I want to watch this. I know the Bad Taste dudes talked about it, and I started talking to Mike immediately after watching it, and we were just gushing over it. This movie was so fucking awesome.
I'll see.
Check out The Sandman.
Because I know
it's streaming on Plex, which is
Plex?
a free app with apps or ads. I mean,
with ads.
Yeah, and
I
then
know that
I got
have Robot Ninja on Tubi. You said
yeah.
that was
This
The
is not on
Sandman?
Tubi. The Sandman is on Plex.
Okay.
I'm hoping that Tempe Video does a Blu-ray release of this because it deserves one. This movie is so well written. It is creative as fuck. The Sandman creature looks awesome. Again, great like Halloween vibes. You could tell it takes place around Halloween. You see some Halloween decorations in the background and some pumpkins. And Matthew Jason Walsh's character in this is fucking hilarious. He plays like some deadbeat metalhead cousin who goes and stays with the main character. I also got Happy Birthday to Me. Why
I
we
still
do
have
not
to see that. I've never seen
I've
it.
never seen it, but Eli Roth it's one of his favorite movies. Why this hasn't been put on Blu-ray yet is beyond me. Or if it is, it's well out of print.
It is. There was like a time when Walmart was getting these really random fucking Blu-rays.
Yeah.
They carried like the producer's cut of Halloween and all that.
Yep, I remember that.
And then they had that too.
Oh, I missed out on that. Well, it
Yeah,
looks
me
like to
too.
be out of print. And then finally, as far as movies go from the archive, Fear of the Dark from the early 2000s, starring Kevin Zegers from Air Bud. He was in Wrong Turn. He was in a made-for-TV Halloween horror called The Hollow, which I just picked up another DVD copy because I had a DVD copy at my grandfather's house, but
You
that
found
could
it?
stay there. What? The Hollow?
The Hollow?
I ordered it on eBay. It was
I
in really
thought
good
so.
condition. Yeah, that's well out of print. That was a made-for-TV horror movie on ABC Family that premiered during the 13 Nights of Halloween, starring Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys, that one actress from, God, I fucking hate the show, but The Big Bang Theory, Penny, I think her name is.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I hate
know
that
the
show,
show,
but
but-
yeah. So the one that like they're all like kind of attracted to, the neighbor. Yeah. Anyway, she's in it.
I'm gonna look up The Hollow because it
Dude,
sounds
Gabe
interesting.
Bartalos did the effects.
I more than likely had seen it if you're talking about 13 Nights of Halloween. Cause,
Yeah.
I mean,
You remember.
always on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, Kevin Zegers is in The Hollow, but he's also in this. This, again, I don't like PG-13 horror movies, but this is one that Anthony and I rented from VIP Video, and it fucking creeped us out. When I saw it, I was like probably like 10, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little unsettled by the dark. I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy, but yeah, I can't, so if the weather holds out, my cousin Alicia's coming over with her partner, and they're supposed to do like Kristen's like makeup trial for the wedding, and they want to do pizza in a movie, and I'm like, this is a good pizza and movie kind of movie. Like
Seems
this,
like it.
yeah, this is a good one. So again, Kevin Zegers is in it, and I think that's like the only notable actor. But dude, the creatures in the dark, man, they're kind of freaky at some points, you know. So that's it from my movie haul. Now let me get into Kristen and I's haul because you know she's a big record collector.
Yes.
And she's gotten both of us into collecting records. So first, we've got Behind the Curtain by the band Downfall, Virginia Hardcore, Days Records, and Triple B Records. This band rules. I don't think they really do anything anymore, but I saw this, and I was like, yeah, I'm picking this up. Then we've got The Class of Nukem High. You know me, I'm a big Trauma guy, as I mentioned before.
You watched that last night, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched Class of Nukem High last night. We're going to watch some more later before my cousin comes over. Yeah, man. So got that. The theme song's been stuck in my head since last night. This was big, this next one I'm about to pull up. Turbo Kid by Death Waltz Records. This was one of what? It was limited to 1,000, I think. That
was hidden.
Yeah, this was hidden, and we just had to pull the trigger. I love this movie. This is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. The soundtrack is amazing. Les Matos, this French synthwave band, or French-Canadian synthwave band, I believe, because all of the directors are French-Canadian. But yeah, this was put out by Death Waltz Records and Mondo. Again, I fucking love this movie. And the soundtrack is amazing. Another big score for Kristen was The Funhouse, one of my favorite Tobe Hooper movies. I believe, this is Waxwork. We got the shadow of Gunther in the background. I'll try to open it up. I keep knocking into the mic. This is cool. Look at this.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Right?
the Frankenstein man.
Yes. Well, it was a Universal Pictures movie, so they could use the properties of the Universal
The
monsters.
Savage Eye Frankenstein mask. That's what it's called.
Is that Don Post? I feel like it would be.
I can't remember. I don't think it is Dom Post.
All right.
But there were Dom Post posters in that movie.
From TerrorVision Records, my all-time favorite Wes Craven movie that I just showed Kristen recently, The People Under the Stairs. I fucking love this movie so much. So much. It's kind of hard to see the house with the glare. But yeah, so there's that. Then we've got also from TerrorVision. I saw this. I'm wearing the shirt right now, and I was wearing the shirt at the archive. Things, baby. Fucking Canucksploitation ridiculousness. This movie is ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. And because of it, I love it. I love it so much.
Doesn't Severin have a release of that?
They have an Intervision DVD release of it, which I do own. Chris Jericho has said it's one of the worst movies he's ever seen, and it's Canadian as fuck. It's so good. There's so many funny quotes to it. The blood dripping like maple syrup. And then finally, Brain Damage from TerrorVision Records, my favorite Frank Henenlotter movie. I love this fucking soundtrack. It's got Corruption by Swimming Pool Q on there. It's got Elmer's Tune. We had such a blast listening to this because we listened to this the day after. We were like, come on, we got a meal prep. Let's throw on Brain Damage. And when I heard Corruption, I got so excited. When I heard Elmer's Tune, I
should have grabbed that. I think they had more up there.
They did.
Yeah,
you could still get it, man. I would pick it up from TerrorVision's site. I guarantee you'll get it for a good price. And then, not from the archive, but I'd mentioned before that Kristen and I went and saw the Toxic Avenger remake, and I did get the Toxic Waste Barrel popcorn bucket.
You went to AMC?
Yep.
Wow. You actually got a bucket.
I know. And so the one they gave me had a dent in it. So I asked them to get me a different one. They went in the back and got a different one for me.
That's dope. I had to go the night before Alien Romulus to get the fucking popcorn buckets.
Yeah, so this is the only time I've ever really scored a popcorn bucket.
Dude, the year of the popcorn bucket, man, was
2024. But
and
that's my haul. We went hard.
You did, but you got really cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm so excited with what we got. I was like a kid in the candy store. Like, as a collector, the archive is the place to be, and that's why you didn't see me. That's why I was fucking...
It's all right. I like being left alone to do my own thing, too.
You know, I really just... I knew that we had to make it back to the movies in time. So in my head, that internal clock was ticking, because we had gotten there late due to fucking traffic. Going into Connecticut was rough.
Yeah. It was a long day of driving.
It was. We were so exhausted by the time we got back home.
I slept nice that night.
Oh,
I don't even think I watched a movie. I think
we didn't either.
I think after you guys left, I was just being fucking lazy, laying on the couch, and I think I just went to bed.
Yeah.
So
same.
Yeah, just a long ass day, and then White Castle after.
We got White Castle because when in Nyack, I'm like, yo, Nick, can we hit up White Castle? It's a delicacy.
I like it.
They
just redid it. It's a nice joint over there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I just want to say overall, it's been a great conversation talking about weapons. I'm glad that we got to see it together. I always like when we can sit down and talk an episode of something that we had actually seen together.
Yes.
You know, I think the last time I saw a movie with you was
Nosferatu.
And we got to sit down and talk about that one too.
Yep. Yeah.
And then before that was Alien Romulus, which we didn't do. I think that maybe down the line that would be fun to talk about.
Absolutely. I'm so down to talk about Alien Romulus.
Or just Alien overall would be like a good episode. Especially because Alien Earth is out and Brendan keeps telling me to check it out.
Yeah, Jeremy is giving it high praises too.
I'm going to check it out. I'm definitely going to check it out. But all right, brother. I mean, I think that's all that I really want to say about everything, so I think it's time for you to take us out unless you got anything else you want to say.
Nah, man. I mean, by the time this drops, we're getting into Halloween season, so I've got my list ready. I'm starting to curate everything. We've got a cool double feature at the Rosendale Theater to try to make one of these weekends. So I'm ready for, like, fall is literally about to be here. I see the leaves are changing. I'm ready for the fall.
Doesn't feel like it though, because it's been pretty hot.
Yeah, it's been a little humid, but there was a couple of days where we had a nice breeze and we had like the balcony door open and it was nice. And I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for the Halloween season, and I can't wait to talk about the movie.
I want to go to some haunted houses, man. We got to definitely try to get together. I mean, I know that because of you guys getting married, you guys have something cool planned for October that I'll try to make because I was invited.
Yeah, dude, because we'll be right over the river.
So, but maybe we should try to do like Headless Horseman.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's probably booked out already.
It's booked out already, and I'm going to be honest, because of like
it's
our
expensive.
it's like 50 something a ticket. I'm going to be honest, I don't think the haunts are going to happen this year just because of what we have going on.
Then we're gonna really have to make Hell House happen in 2027 or 2026. My bad.
We will definitely have to make Hell House LLC Waldorf A State of Fear happen for 2026. It's a long time coming. We always pit stop
aim
there.
For that. Yeah, let's aim for that. We'll try to do like a weekend at the Mahoning, and then fucking try to do that.
Hell yeah, brother. So, with that being said, the best way you could support Dead With My Friends podcast is visiting us on our site at www.deadwithmyfriendspodcast.com. Give us a follow on Instagram at Dead With My Friends Podcast. We are on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to us there. And look out for future merch drops and future episodes because we've got some awesome things coming that we're very excited for. So
yeah, we got some shit up the sleeve, man.
Until next time, I am Steve.
And I'm Nick.
And we'll see you in the next dimension.
Peace.